Criminal trials usually involve criminal defendants. Did they show remorse? What factors in their backgrounds favor leniency or the harshest possible punishment? Choose your plan. ArrowRight. The scene in U.S. District Judge Royce C. Lamberth's courtroom on Thursday was all of that. But there was also something more. And something even more important. Because Lamberth, veteran judge named to bench by President Ronald Reagan in 1987, wasn't just sentencing defendant before him. James Little, one of defendants whose cases piled up before justices on Jan. 6, 2021, D.C. federal courthouse. He was also passing judgment on politicians and pundits who downplayed the significance of January 6 and instead praised its perpetrators as heroes. Lamberth, a native Texan and former military man, is a man who has never shied away from holding the powerful to account. When Native Americans accused the Interior Department of mismanaging trust funds, an exasperated Lamberth belittled Bill Clinton's Interior Secretary Bruce Babbitt and then did the same to President George W. Bush's Interior Secretary, Gale Norton, after Russian President Vladimir Putin said that he did not have obeyed the cowboy judge by defying Lamberth's order to hand over stolen Jewish artifacts. Lamberth, who is known wear cowboy boots at legal events, declared this adjective, Thursday should be another day, in an environment where judges and prosecutors became the targets of insults and violence. Lamberth, without taking any small personal risk, released those who acquitted January 6. The court is used to defendants refusing to admit they did anything wrong, Lamberth said. But in my 37 years on the bench, I cannot recall a time when such unwarranted justifications for criminal activity became mainstream. I was shocked to see some public figures trying to rewrite history by claiming that the rioters were behaving in an orderly manner like ordinary tourists, or by martyring the defendants convicted on January 6 as political prisoners or even, incredibly, hostages. Nonsense. However, the court fears that such destructive and misguided rhetoric could herald further dangers for our country. Lamberth did not name names, but the targets of his anger could not be clearer. Let's start with former President Donald Trump, who promised to pardon at least some of those charged in the insurrection. I call them hostages, Trump said earlier this month, saying those who breached the Capitol in Iowa were patriotic and peaceful. Some in his party, which once championed law and order, have distanced themselves from Trump's vile words. Others, especially Rep. Elise Stefanik, dutifully echoed them, keeping an undisguised eye on the GOP's vice presidential nomination. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene called the detained defendants political prisoners. Lamberth countered, and given our current moment, it's worth quoting his words at length, the court cannot tolerate shameless attempts by Mr. Litt